Welcome back. You're watching Live from Paris on France 24. It's time for Media Watch. For that, I'm joined by Nicholas Rushworth. Good evening to you, Nicholas.
Good evening, Laura.
Good to see you again. Now, we're going to take a closer look at French politicians tonight because, of course, Parliament has opened. They're all going back to work. But the Huffington Post has published some details of their private lives.
Well, 577 MPs, newly elected, perhaps they're back again or they're brand new. They're in the National Assembly. And of course, we can all get their official photos shortly. But Huffington Post decided to go ahead straight to Google Images and have a look at the 577. It found this one. Now, Yves Fromillon is describing himself as a kitsch rocker there, Laura. Do you credit it?
And Father Christmas at the same time.
It's Christmas.
It's like Elvis and Santa all mixed into one.
Yeah, it's Christmas in June. Now, actually, he
won a seat, did he, in the elections? No. All right.
Well, he actually, there we can take another look at that. And he actually, if we go to his official website, you couldn't find a more dramatic contrast. There you can see his photo is very staid and stiff, isn't it? An official
I bet he's wishing he never posted that one.
Well, the argument, of course, in Huffington Post is that these guys, the new guys in the 577 in Parliament, need to sort out their online imaging. So
you can hire companies to do this for you now, I believe.
Well, surely they will, because, you know, that's the future,
Some
isn't it?
too little, too late for some people, though, it seems. All right, they've got some other examples of this.
Well, yeah, let's have a look at another one. We've got one here, and this is another UMP, the UMP now in opposition, and again, a bit of a messaging problem there. That's Jean-Luc Moudenc. He used to be the mayor of Toulouse. He's an MP now for the Haute-Garonne, which is in the Toulouse region. And I can't quite figure out what that is. We'll perhaps have a closer look. It's a bowler hat there. Is it a penguin suit?
I'm lost for words, Nicholas. I'm not sure what that is at all.
Perhaps
but it's not very parliamentary, is it?
No, perhaps another one here is perhaps more familiar. This is Manuel Valls, who's the Interior Minister.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to him in a minute, but the only one there I could find was this one here of him with his tape over his mouth, but otherwise fairly straightforward. So that's on the Huffington Post website, and you can check out some of the 577 MPs.
Or you could just go to Google Images and do it yourself. All right, let's move on to our next, because on a more serious note, Parliament have now elected a speaker, haven't they?
Well, they did that this afternoon, Claude Barthelone, and so that's sort of the procedure of the first day of Parliament. And that tradition involves that the oldest person in the House and the youngest person in the House act as scrutateurs. So Europain's blog, Le Lab here, has got a dilemma for the MPs because they queued up to cast their ballot for the Speaker. And there you can see the headline, Faut-il faire la bise ou serrer la main du FN? Because the youngest person in the Parliament, Laura, as we know, is Marion Maréchal Le Pen.
Absolutely.
So the National Front is there looking at the votes, and we can look in
Will
the...
she be shunned, as they were, you remember, in the European Parliament?
Well, look at the Le Lab. It has all the photos there of all the MPs casting their ballot, and we can also look at some pictures of them doing that one by one. And what we can see is that, well, do they shake her hand? Do they just ignore her? And I was looking at them, and some of them do ignore her and kind of turn away. And then, of course, Le Lab is arguing there, well, actually, there we can see some examples of people just doing that. They're putting their vote in, and then that's one person just turning away, not even looking.
Why is she hanging around at the...
Well, she's the scrutateur. She's the person who's actually there to monitor the vote.
So it's protocol,
yes,
is it, to shake that person's hand?
It's the Parliament's etiquette. So what's the next one going to do is, again, perhaps the tradition, of course, in France often is to actually kiss on the cheeks, isn't it, twice, which you might do in that occasion.
Oh, but that would take a long time, wouldn't it? 577 MPs, come on.
So some of them did do that. So, of course, this is a dilemma about the National Front in Parliament. They've got two MPs. Another dilemma, the leader of the UMP, Jean-François Copé, who's replaced Nicolas Sarkozy, if you like. Well, he was the leader, but he's replacing Nicolas as the front runner in the UMP's politics. Now, he's actually sitting next to, in Parliament, Gilbert Collard, because they're named Copé and Collard. It's by alphabet chronological.
Right.
So, of course, that's also in the press today in France.
OK, now let's go back to Manuel Valls, because his mother was the victim of crime, I understand.
Well, this is a story that's getting a lot of coverage in the press at the moment, and there was a verdict today in court. There we can see Manuel Valls. He, as I said before, is the Interior Minister, and his mum was in Monoprix, which is one of the supermarkets here. It was the day after he was appointed Interior Minister, and she got robbed by 4 Romanians, and they have been tried and sentenced today of very stiff sentences.
They picked on the wrong woman, didn't they?
Well, they didn't know that that person was the mum of the new head of police in France.
Oh dear. Bit of a blunder there. All right, Nicholas, we'll have to leave it there. Nicholas Rushworth, thank you very much indeed. Now it is time for our daily roundup of the best of the internet, including tonight Mitt Romney's online attack on President Obama's jobs record. That's now in Web News.